Alright, no doubt this video is going to be a little bit different compared to my traditional sit down and educational e-commerce dropshipping videos I do drop on the channel. However, I've been wanting to share this with y'all for quite some time now. Ladies and gents, welcome back to the channel. If you guys don't know already who I am, my name is Yash, and if you do want to get your good deed of the day out and done with, make sure you guys drop a huge like on this video, and while you're at it, make sure you guys are also subscribed with that post notification bell turned on so you guys are updated with all recent videos. Quite frankly, I'm going to keep this video as informative yet as to the point as possible, so make sure you guys watch the entire video, especially if you're just starting out your first Shopify dropshipping store, or better yet, if you've been tackling dropshipping for a while and you haven't really found much consistent success within this space. Also, just a quick disclaimer, everything that I am about to say in this video going forward is solely based on my personal experience from being in this space for almost 4 years now. So how you actually want to apply it and implement it, that is totally up to you, but I will assure you I will not guide you towards the wrong direction. So let's get straight into it. We can all say dropshipping is a business model, or more so a type of fulfillment model within actual e-commerce. Now, no doubt dropshipping is a great entry point into actual e-commerce. It's composed of a multitude of skills and components that you actually have to practice, get better at over time through implementation and taking feedback into action. Dropshipping is also a great way into entrepreneurship. Now, just because you're a great dropshipper doesn't mean you are a great entrepreneur or business owner. And you'll see where I'm getting with this in just a little bit. With that being said, the main fundamental to any e-commerce business, ladies and gents, is your website. Your website, or your store they call it, is what really represents your brand at the end of the day. Your website is your main base and your main foundation where you're going to eventually be driving traffic to. Now, e-commerce dropshipping, just like any other business model, has no doubt evolved over the years. What used to work before may not absolutely work anymore. If it still works, it works in a little bit of a different way. As the consumer market is changing, adapting, and pivoting, as the consumer market is getting exposed to different levels and different types of e-commerce, and these social media platforms are also emerging and adapting, we as e-commerce business owners, we as dropshippers also have to adapt and pivot to that as well. And honestly, the main thing I see people not adapting and pivoting to is having a proper optimized store. Yes, guys, a proper optimized store. A lot of people rush into advertising. A lot of people rush into finding that winning product. But at the end of the day, their dropshipping store or their Shopify store completely looks like shit. And honestly, that is not going to work in 2021 and even onwards. That is just how e-commerce dropshipping is attaining to be over time. Not putting enough emphasis on your store, that base and foundation, is honestly not going to work in 2021 and onwards. Therefore, something I've personally started to focus on over the past year and a half is something called micro branding. Now, you may or may not have heard the term micro branding in the dropshipping space. I feel like not a lot of individuals talk about it on YouTube or anywhere else. People say make your store look nice, do this, do that, use this theme, use that theme. Well, yes, that is right, but micro branding really means putting that enough time, energy, and effort up front into your Shopify store in terms of how it looks and how it makes your potential customer feel. All it really means is to have your store as less dropshippy and as less spammy as possible, and making it look as professional and as branded as possible. Now, I'm not saying you have to make your store look like the next Adidas or have a product line that looks like, the next Jordan or anything like that, But keep in mind that the consumer market is getting more and more picky as to where they're shopping online. They're quite frankly getting more and more attained of generic looking Shopify stores. And that is why you want to focus on micro branding. Now, as you may or may not know, there's essentially 4 types of Shopify stores you can actually build out. General stores, which consist of a plethora of different products and multiple niches: home improvement, beauty, makeup, so on and so forth. A general niche store, which means something like home improvement. Within home improvement, you have several sub niches such as kitchenware products, bathroom products, living room products, so on and so forth. The third type of store you can have is a niche store. For example, beauty and makeup, that is more niche, or kitchenware, that is more niche. It focuses on a certain type of products that really appeal to a certain type of audience or demographic. And last but not least, my favorite is micro branded one product dropshipping stores. And I call it micro branded because one product stores are inevitably really easy to brand and have your store stand out from the rest of your competition. One product stores is predominantly what I focus on 90% of the time, and one product stores are essentially focused or honed down on one specific product only, meaning the store really revolves around that one product. It really looks like your store is the only store that is selling that product. At least that should be your end goal of how it views to your potential customer. Now, you may be wondering or thinking, Yash, if I have a one product store, how am I supposed to test a multitude of products on the store? Well, let me answer that for you. Finally! My approach, what I do is I will have a flexible domain name that is super broad, that doesn't really have attachment to a specific niche or product. I personally use a website called namelix.com. It essentially uses AI or artificial intelligence to come up with personalized and unique domain names. Quite frankly, your domain name doesn't even have to be a real word. As long as it invokes curiosity, is short, nice, simple, clean, and is easy to say and remember, that's all that really matters. I mean, Nike and Adidas aren't really real words if you think about it. So I'll have this broad, flexible domain name that will allow me to test a multitude of products in multiple niches: home improvement, outdoors, personal and self-care, so on and so forth. That's the main purpose of having this flexible domain name. So for example, if product A doesn't work, I don't have to change the Facebook page to Instagram page, the logo, the domain. I can keep the same domain name without having to change any assets, like I said, and move on to product B, which can be in a totally different niche. And that's because the domain name allows you to test a product in another niche without interfering with how it looks or how it even sounds. So that's personally the way I like to go about testing products, or once you have a certain winning product. Now, if you want to ramp things up, move a little bit faster, perhaps test 10, 15, 20, 25 products a week, you can absolutely have a niche or general niche store. There's no right or wrong way to go about it. I know a lot of people may disagree with me on this one in the industry, but that's totally okay. I am personally not a fan of general stores because it goes back to my point of customers being so attained of generic, general, shitty looking stores. I mean, they really have no direction. You're selling a multitude of different products. You know, it really has no consistent traction. And honestly, it's really hard to get that, brand awareness, that customer loyalty if you're shooting for something more long term rather than having a 3-month or even a 3-week Shopify store. You want to make sure, there's some potential to have quality, revisiting, and lifetime customers on the store that you're actually running. That's why I prefer one product, and if not one product, go towards the general or the general niche route, so you still have some flexibility that way. To dive a little bit deeper, the first action step you can implement is investing into a paid or premium theme for your Shopify store. I see countless people of utilizing free themes over and over and over again. Now, no doubt, I have scaled stores on free themes. So again, I'm not going to be a hypocrite, but a paid theme will put you ahead of your competition. It will allow you to customize your store more, as it does offer a ton more. It also comes preloaded with a lot of apps, add-ons, and widgets that quite frankly can save you a lot of time and money in the long run and the short run. And not to mention, paid themes also have slightly faster loading page times as well. Unless you're on a super low budget, that's totally okay. But otherwise, I highly implore you guys to actually take a deeper dive into paid themes, playing around with these themes, seeing what they have to offer, and making your store look nice. And when I say nice, you want to keep in mind of congruency. Congruency is so important, making sure everything fits together, everything is simple, nice, compact. The color schemes, I usually like to make sure there's about 2 to 3 color schemes on my store. You know, I don't like making it look like a rainbow. Certain niches are an exception, but 2 to 3 color schemes are just fine. Also ensure that, you know, spacing, grammar, spelling, all that is up to par, as well as that does contribute to micro branding your store. One more thing, make sure all of your menus are completed as well. I see so many people who are half-assing their menus, or quite frankly don't even have their menus completed. And once you do have this, ladies and gents, your customers will have that sense of authority, trust, and confidence once they land on your website. Believe it or not, but people make their first impression or their first judgment within a few seconds upon landing on your product page or your store in general. All these factors do add up in the grand scheme of things, and they will no doubt help your store look more micro branded, more trustworthy, and more unique. A store where actually people feel comfortable buying from not only once, but over and over again. So before you rush into anything, you know, before you want to start making sales, don't half-ass your store, guys. Please do me a favor. Actually focus on your store. Give it the proper attention, time, energy, and effort it actually deserves in 2021 and even onwards, because that is how e-commerce is moving now, in that direction. Oh, by the way, I know I don't really mention this in most of my videos, but a lot of you guys have been messaging me on Instagram lately, which, by the way, follow me if you already have not. You guys have been asking if there's some way to actually hop on a call with myself. So, ladies and gents, if you're struggling with any component within your dropshipping business, if you have any issues, challenges, setbacks, hindrances, I do offer one-on-one growth calls. You can either schedule a 30-minute or 60-minute call with myself. We can get to know a little bit about you, your business, see what you're really dealing with, and I'll really help as best as I can. So I'll be leaving a link where you can actually schedule a one-on-one growth call with myself down in the description below. Just keep in mind, I only take a handful of spots every single month. With that being said, I hope you really got something out of this video, ladies and gents. If you already have an active Shopify store and you truly believe, ask yourself, if you truly believe that it can look better, you can actually make it visually better to a potential customer, put in that work. If you're just thinking of starting a brand new Shopify store, or if you're opening your second, third, or fourth Shopify store, make sure you put the proper time, energy, and emphasis into that Shopify store to make it look nice and micro branded like we discussed. As always, if you do have any questions, thoughts, or concerns, feel free to leave them in the comments down below, because I do reply to each and every single one of them. Remember to keep working hard. More importantly, keep being awesome. And until the next time, your boy's out. Peace.